What time is it?
5:30.
Jesus Christ.
He was supposed to be here half an hour ago. You know, this is why I didn't want to work with the guy. I'm supposed to do a podcast. I gotta fucking work with this asshole. He comes in late every goddamn time. How am I supposed to work like this?
Okay, hey. So I know I'm a little bit late.
A little bit.
I brought donuts and coffee.
Oh, that's so nice. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah, it's great, man.
Yeah, I know how to redeem myself. So, Stacey, here's your coffee. Chase coffee for you.
Thank you.
Coffee for me, and now for the donuts. That's one's for me, this one's for Stacey, and this for Siddharth.
Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. So what are we talking about today?
I think maybe before we get started, could you put on some pants or something? We can see your dick.
I mean, yeah, sure. I guess I could do that. It gets awfully hot in here, but
It's like really inappropriate.
yeah, I can get some pants. But that's gonna be like 40 more minutes.
40 more minutes.
Yeah.
I don't want to look at your dick this whole time, so maybe let's do that. Hey, and here's the other thing. This donut you gave me
Yeah.
with the pink frosting on it,
Yeah, that's the good one.
and I notice you have pink frosting smeared all across your dick and asshole area.
Did you think we wouldn't notice?
Do you think we wouldn't notice?
It's really obvious.
I'm sorry.
That's right. 2 bites of this and I'm done.
You know what time it is. It's the Jank-Ass Podcast.
It's so jank.
Yeah.
Hello, and thank you for tuning in to the second Jank-Ass Podcast. My name is David, one of your hosts, and alongside I have Chase.
Hello, hello.
And we also have Stacey.
Howdy do.
Thank you once again for tuning in. Episode 2. I'm pretty excited about this. First one went well.
We'll take our first caller.
Oh, that'd be weird.
So hey, new subscribers. Good to meet you.
Yeah. Thank you for taking an interest in what we're doing here. I hope it was the sampling that we did that you heard it and you were like, "Oh, this is dynamite! I gotta support these guys."
Yeah, one
So
guy
either
gave
way.
us $50. Holy shit!
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Move over, Josh Green. We've got a new
Josh
super
Green.
fan. Get out of the way.
Whatever.
Thanks, but no thanks.
Yeah.
$50 guy, we love you.
More like, oh my gosh, Green.
Josh
Look at
Green
that
never
guy.
got an I love you.
No, he might have. He probably
Yeah,
did.
probably did.
I was probably all hopped up on some Jack. We still love you, Josh Green.
David speaks for himself.
Yeah, sure, whatever. You're a jerk. Josh is awesome. I'll stand alone. I support the Green. What's up?
New topic.
Little shitbag David.
So since we're doing childhood stories, you know, David, you have like one of my favorite childhood stories, and you probably already know which one I'm talking about.
It's hard to pinpoint. It could be a lot of them, actually. But I have a pretty good idea. I know which one you're leaning towards. Does it have to do with diving rings?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. But yeah, it's a story one or two of you may know already that I've shared, but it was always in small bursts, so it should be new for a lot of folks. I currently live in Arizona, but before I lived out here, I had relatives out here, grandparents and a cousin, and we'd come out and spend summers out here. And I was 4 or 5 years old, and we learned how to swim that summer. I remember going to the YMCA and getting swim lessons and all that.
Also, one thing to clarify, you're currently in Arizona, yes?
Currently, yes.
But we're all in the same room right now, like just talking.
Yeah, no, yeah, of course.
Yeah, like I'm poking you right now.
And it's very uncomfortable, so I'd appreciate it if you would stop that.
Just a minute.
Son of a bitch, I said stop poking
And
me.
one more.
God damn it!
Yeah, that was
All
your
right. So yeah, learned how to swim at like 4 or 5. Went to the YMCA to do it, which I vaguely remember that. I remember being cool though. But yeah, my grandparents, they had a pool, and this was before like all the kids' pool safety. Like there's no gate or anything, and their sliding glass door, like if you looked at it wrong, it would slide open. So we could have just fallen in there and died at any moment. So good on them for having us take swimming lessons. And once we figured out how to swim, of course, that entire summer we spent it in that pool. And to keep us occupied, they picked up diving rings and like little diving sticks. And anybody who's not familiar with these, they're plastic rings or sticks that have weights on the bottom of them. And when you throw them in the pool, they sink to the bottom. So as kids, for whatever reason, we thought this was awesome to dive in the pool over and over again all day and pick up these rings, which thinking about it now, that's actually the last thing I would want to do if I got into a pool. But as a kid, it was amazing.
Dogs have the exact same game.
Yeah. Yeah, except they don't grow out of it.
You're like, here, kids, fetch.
Lucky bastards. That's what it was. It was kids fetching. I was thinking about that, too. It was like, that's the same thing as my cat. I got a fetch cat, and he just does it over and over again. It's like, man, I'd get tired of this so fucking fast.
They give it back, and they're like, I'm tired. And you're like, fetch.
Okay.
Now go to sleep so I can get drunk. Like all good parents.
So this... it's the natural order of things. So, summertime, it's my sister who is a year older than me, and then my cousin who is about 9 months younger than me. So I'm pretty sure I was 5, he was 4 or 5, sister was 6, and we're just spending the entire time in this pool. Like, didn't leave for anything. And one day, we're doing the diving rings deal, and we never wore goggles. So you're underwater, and your eyes are burning, everything looks blurry, but we didn't care. Like, eyes would be bloodshot by the end of the day. We just kept going. So we're doing our passes over and over again, throwing the rings, going in, grabbing them, bringing them back up, throwing in the sticks.
Get some
grabbing
goggles,
them, bringing them
man.
back up. Well, now there's no way I could do it, but as a kid, we just did. Like, it didn't even matter. God only knows how heavily chemical that pool was, too.
Yeah.
My grandparents were like, they were pretty... What's the word I'm looking for? Like, they were very neat for sure, and they were always wash your hands and keep this clean and that. So I'm sure they'd shock that pool on a daily basis. So yeah, we're doing our thing, and it's my turn to go. So my cousin and my sister, they throw in like the rings and the sticks and everything, and I'm down there and I'm hauling ass and I'm grabbing them and I'm trying to be quick, and I look up and I see one coming at me, and I reach out to grab it, and out of nowhere it just disintegrates in my hand, just into just mush. And I'm like, what the hell? I go swimming up as quick as I can. I see my 4 or 5-year-old cousin in a love seat with his bare ass in the pool, and he is continuing to drop logs into the pool.
No!
So I'm just
You're
down
just
there
flashing
minding my
back,
own.
replaying it in your head over and over again. Just slow motion fucking as you grip the shit and it dissolves into a cloud and you're like,
That
What
is
was
exactly
that?
how I remember it. It's how I remember it, though. I'm reaching for the log, which now I like in my mind. I'm like, oh yeah, that was a fucking turd. But at the time, I was like, what is that? And I can still see the ripply reflection lines from the sun hitting the pool just off my hand, and just the cloud of brown everywhere, and just being perplexed. And I pull my head above the pool, and he's taking a shit. Like, I grabbed his shit, guaranteed it exploded in my face, goggleless. God only knows how I escaped pink eye in that scenario.
Yeah, what the fuck?
you like pulled it out of his ass almost.
Because my grandparents shocked the fuck out of that pool. They did me a solid. My eyes
You
are...
said they're real neat people. That must have fucking horrified them.
Oh my God, my cousin got his ass beat.
Oh, I don't remember that part of the story.
That's how all of David's young stories end.
Yeah, but usually he's
Oh, yeah,
getting
there was-
beaten.
There was...
He got beat too for grabbing the poo.
You dumb little shit.
for not washing my hand afterwards. You're eating your PB&J with that? Gah! But no, not so much on my end of the family. Like, my sister and I would get spankings, but oof, my cousin, he'd get it. And a couple of times my sister and I got it, but not as bad, so I'm not complaining.
Man, I've just got like this cinematic image of like this shit is a silhouette against the sun looking up, you know, and you reach out and you're like, oh,
Yeah,
and you grab
quick
it and it
slow-mo cut
dissolves,
to my
and you're
face.
like, what?
Little David's just thinking, I don't remember a brown rod.
And it surprises you, so you take a big breath in.
Just inhale all the dookie water.
The whole cloud.
And then you rise up and go, and it's just all brown, right?
Just streaks in my little red mole.
Very cinematic.
He burps up brown bubbles.
I'm being too loud.
So-
Shit.
You're being what?
I'm being too loud. I see this thing clipping all over the place.
That doesn't sound bad coming through my headset.
How's this sound? Pretty.
That sounds don't
Pretty
do
sexy.
Don't do that. I felt something move.
that. There's a little spring in my pants. Stop that.
Should I leave?
Yes.
Like, what was
Okay.
your reaction when you put it all together?
Just coming out of the pool going, I'm probably the reason he got in trouble, because I was just like, it's poop. And next thing I can remember, he's getting it.
And you're like, ha 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 ha. Oh wait, I still have shit all over my hands.
Well, they probably made me clean it off, and then I probably brushed it off and jumped back in. We guaranteed we stayed in there the rest of the summer.
Oh
Like,
no! You can't jump back in.
They did not shut down the pool. The pool was still open for business all summer. But that's what they had. Like they taught us how to swim. They would chill inside. We just tended to ourselves outside. We had so many opportunities to die.
You made shit-flavored pool. You don't jump back in.
Well, I was fucking 5, Siddharth. I didn't care. As far as I was concerned, I defeated the Dookie monster because it exploded into a cloud. It was gone, therefore it didn't exist anymore. I win.
You defeated the cloud.
Yeah.
I defeated the Duke cloud. I got it.
And your grandparents are like, fuck it. He's not going to college.
It's just that David guy. I told you that there was a point in my teenage years where they thought, direct quote, they thought that I was a gay drug dealer. I told you about that, right?
I think I remember that.
Are you not?
yeah, cool. Yeah,
I feel like betrayed almost. All this time.
Gay drug dealer be like, it's like, yeah, it's gonna be $10 an ounce. Ooh, I got that much.
I'm always telling people I have a gay best friend.
But I could never
He has
tell
a
them I
wife,
had a
so it's
gay
weird.
drug dealing best friend.
Yeah, he's got a wife. He covers it up.
Yeah.
He's good. He's deep undercover.
And he deals horse. That's how we got HIV.
Choking on my beer.
The fact you went back into the pool after kind of reminds me of how
Horrifies
when I
me.
was when I was like 5 or 6, I went to Disneyland.
New topic.
Stacey's disgusting pool story, and ate a bunch of candy and fried food and stuff, and we went to the pool. And I remember jumping up and down like, yeah. There's like kids all around me. And then I was like, and like just totally barfed. And I was like, I should sit down. So I go back to where my parents are, and my mom saw the whole thing. She's just like, let's go. So we just went back to the room and didn't say a word to anybody.
Yeah, he pretty much said, everyone check this out.
Nobody noticed. I looked around and like everyone was just still playing and swimming and stuff.
Was it a pool?
And that's what hurt your
Yeah.
mom the most.
My God.
She just saw that they were all so happy, even in the face of that. She was like, we gotta get out of here.
Yeah, she didn't want to ruin the good time, like until someone swims into my puke cloud.
Oh, wait. You threw up in the pool? I thought you were throwing up on
Yeah.
like the cool deck.
I was in the middle of the
shit.
pool.
Yeah.
That makes it even better. I thought you were just like jumping up and down. Like, yeah, I'm about to get in this pool. It's going to be so great. I can't. Oh, no. I didn't think you were
Lord.
actually above the pool.
I was in the middle of it, like in the middle of people even.
Like, I know you guys were young, but I'm not going to swim with either of you ever.
I don't even like going in pools anymore. Like, we hit the pools when we go out to Vegas sometimes, but I'm really worried when I first go in there because it's like, man, that thing is full of nothing but beer and piss. I don't even want it. And like, I'll see people dunk their heads. I'm like, no, don't do that. I feel bad for whoever you're going to kiss later. Ugh.
You grabbed a shit.
Okay, yeah. But it's like, I didn't go into that day going, well, there's probably going to be some shit in this pool, and I'm probably going to grab it, but I'm okay with it. Like, you got to know what you're getting into when you go into a Vegas pool.
Is it any dirtier than a lake or the beach, though?
Oceans I'm okay with. Lakes scare the hell out of me. I just imagine there's nothing but, like, feces, fucking syringes, and dead bodies. That's all I think about when I think of lakes. When I was a kid, we spent so much time in them, and now I'm like, oh, no. Like, when people are like, let's go to the lake. It's, can we go to Taco Bell or something? Like, I don't know. The lake just sounds
And they
terrible
said,
to
yes,
me.
David, that is an equivalent trip.
Don't invite this guy again.
Yeah, stay here. We'll be right back to pick you up. And we're going to Taco Bell. The important part is that you stay here.
Yes, you can hop on the jet ski when we get back.
Come on, everyone. We're ditching this loser.
I don't know what that means, but I can't wait till they get back.
See you in a
I
minute.
swallowed that
They
beer
drive
wrong.
away.
Ugh. Yeah. See you guys soon. No, I swallowed that beer horribly wrong, and now I'm coughing like crazy. This sucks. That's a lesson to be learned, people. Don't drink in a booth when people are telling you jokes. And if you do, try not to swallow it the wrong way. Yeah, there we go. That's the lesson.
Drink beer carefully.
Yeah. When you drink a lot of beer standing in a box recording with your friends, well, you pound it quick, but pound it responsibly.
New topic.
Making cartoons and shit.
So we do somewhat interesting stuff. We make cartoons from time to time.
Yeah, more so you, but every now and again I get to help, and that's always great.
Well, you get to voice. You've written a whole bunch with me.
Yeah.
Me and David together created Mega Man Dies at the End, How It's Played, David Forgets.
Oh, yeah, How It's Played. That was a good one.
How It's Played was fun.
Definitely.
I feel like it was like a grind when we were making it, but when I watch them back, I'm like, damn, I really like this.
Yeah, we've talked about this, and it is really true. When it was happening, I feel like it was like, okay, great, another one's out, woo, and that was the extent of my enthusiasm. But rewatching them now, they were pretty fucking fun. Like, I don't know what the hell was going on in my head at the time, but I think they're great now.
Yeah,
I
they
think
were.
it's just like kind of difficult to write a technical manual comedy script.
There's that, yeah. And although as odd as it sounds, I had a lot of fun actually doing research for that show. Like, trying to make it relatively accurate but still have fun with it. Like, it was cool just doing the research and trying to find a way to play it in there.
Yeah, and we'd go so far the fuck off the rails.
Also fun.
We're doing the T-virus, and somehow we worked Mr. T Goes to College.
I was gonna say, you guys have technical explanations, but you add your own flair to it, like Mr. T messing around with chemicals.
Once I coagulate this.
Yeah, T, no, don't. Shut up, fool. You'll see. Once these chemicals coagulate, we'll get, I think that's probably my favorite line I've ever delivered because it felt right, just the shut up, fool.
Yeah.
Like, it felt right. Like, even after I said it, I was like, oh, that's the keeper. Like, it just felt good. And I haven't had that ever with anything else.
Man,
I'm
you
just
remember
like,
any ones we didn't end up making? I know we had a Titanfall one.
We did, yeah, with the Planet of the Titans, and then they got enslaved.
Yeah, we had it so the Titans were biological and that
Yeah.
they were giving birth.
Little baby Titans.
Flying above the clouds and giving birth to them, and then we'd like, the humans were parasites jacking into their brains.
Then we were talking about one with Max Payne where he wasn't actually a cop, he was just taking a bunch of drugs. And in the game, the painkillers were, what healed you, but in reality, he was just coming down from his drugs and snapping back to reality. That was his life meter, so you just kept popping drugs, and then you're just murdering people.
Man, that's just what the game should be.
Yeah, that's practically what the game was, except he's the scoundrel.
New topic.
Recording the jank.
Every week we fly to the exact center between Connecticut and Arizona.
It's a little bit more west. It's kind of right where Oklahoma and Texas collide.
I believe it's in the Ukraine.
Wichita, Kansas?
Right next to South Africa.
Yeah, how fucking shitty would that be? It's like, we gotta meet up, but we gotta fly equidistant. Cool. And we each just fly the opposite direction. Yeah, I'm going west.
We're currently on a buoy in the middle of the ocean.
And we still gotta record the podcast anyway, so we just have to pretend we're in the same room.
I've seen so many whales out here, though.
Isn't it spectacular?
We never talk about the whales. Whatever.
Or their giant whale dongs, am I right?
Dude, don't check out the whale dongs.
A little class. Right to the dong every time.
How do you
You're
not,
objectifying those whales,
how do
sir.
you not look at it? It's so buoyant, too. It's just, it's above them.
I went to SeaWorld with David once, and I was like, wow, look at... It's nice to see the penguins, like, they like, really care for each other. And you were like, look at that penguin's dong. I was like, it was amazing how smart the dolphins were. And you're like, look at the dolphin's dong.
The dolphin is rock hard. We're gonna get a show.
I didn't know what he was talking about most of the time. I didn't see, like, the penguin's dong sticking out or anything, but he kept insisting it was huge.
The porpoise.
New topic.
Penguins.
My God.
Me and Stacey were at...
Was it the Boston Aquarium?
Yeah, the Boston Aquarium, and we saw the penguins there. There was one fucking penguin who he was like up on a rock, and there was one like a foot below him.
Mm-hmm.
He turns around, leans over, and just like shotgun blasts a shit. Just all over that fucking his buddy underneath.
Oh, man.
It's pretty hilarious to see a little penguin just like shaking it off like a dude just going, oh, fuck!
Just hits him in the back of the head. Oh, man. Steve.
You're
Fuck.
fucking kidding me?
I think he dove in the water right after. He's like, God.
Yep.
The little baby penguin swam up and grabbed the log. I was like, fucking Steve.
The force of that shit, too, was like something to behold.
Yeah, I've heard tales from like penguin documentaries and stuff that they have just like ridiculously powerful shit. So I hope someday I can be in an aquarium and see a penguin just projectile shit on another one.
It's like ripe for like a supercut of penguins shitting and like do 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 do.
Oh man, that'd be so great.
Yeah, I would never make something like that. But
If money is no longer necessary, or not necessary, if money is no longer a thing and I just got it to blow, we're gonna make that happen.
Yeah, and on one of those like crashes, then that's David grabbing a poop.
Yeah. Oh.
yeah, that's gonna be our logo. Is you, the Jank-Ass podcast, and you like in a dissolving shit.
But you got to make sure to get the reflective ripples on all the surfaces around too, so it just adds to
Like a look of wonder, like
oh, just full clench and just part of a log and then a whole lot of brown cloud.
Jesus. New topic.
Poop grabbing revelations.
Wait, did they? I'm trying to think. Maybe they skimmed part of the log out of the pool. I feel like I'm remembering that, but I might be mistaken. But it couldn't have all just dissolved. Like, it was a big log. Like, pieces came off on each end. Like, I broke it apart, and it was just brown cloud.
Yeah.
That's gross, man.
Yeah. I know. My eyes were wide open. I saw all of it.
New topic.
David Forgets. A David Forgets story.
So we did a David Forgets for April Fools once. Look it up. It's a quality episode.
Good episode.
But spoiler alert, at the end of the David Forgets episode, the joke is that you are wearing a shirt that has "Kick Me in the Jimmy" written on the back of it. Real big, like in masking tape.
And,
yeah, David's wearing all black and it was in masking tape, so it like really stood out.
And just in case you didn't pick up on it, it's a play on "Kick Me," just the regular sign, and then Jimmy refers to the package. So
Is there anyone who can't put that together?
somebody
Kick
out
me in the
there,
Jimmy.
somebody out there didn't, like, guaranteed, like, somebody's gonna be
Who's
like,
Jimmy?
"Oh." So anyway,
Yeah, kick me in the dick and balls is what we should have written.
yeah, kick me right in my testicles and dick.
That would have made this story better.
Kick me in my dick in both balls.
That's the winner. Both balls, not just and both.
Separately.
2 kicks.
Separate kicks?
2 kicks.
Yeah.
Pow, pow. One after the other. Can it.
Yeah, whatever. Those raisins, you can get 1 kick and like get the whole thing.
Why are you talking about my balls, Siddharth? Shoot.
I'm just saying you got tiny little balls.
Man. Bringing up my genitalia? Come on now. That's not
If you didn't want me to know you had tiny ass balls, you shouldn't have talked for hours about your little tiny balls.
That was my mistake. Okay. All right.
We had to cut all of that.
Yeah, our first episode 1 was David just talking about his balls.
And describing his penis.
2 hours. I tried to cut around it, but it wasn't working.
I thought it was quality content. I mean, it's edgy, it's fresh, it's topical.
And then we did Stitches, so I'm sorry.
I don't know. Stitches was good. And hopefully
That'll be
more people will see it and they can encourage their friends to see it too, and then they can have the same conversations we had.
The lost Jank-Ass episode.
Titled, They're in My Hand, a David's Tale of His Balls.
A tale of 2 Skittles.
Oh, so anyway.
Kick me in the gym.
Yeah, so it was our April Fool's episode, and that was the April Fool's joke was, or the idea was that David forgot that April Fool's was the previous day, and he was still wearing his outfit that said "Kick me in the Jimmy," so he got double pranked for the same thing because he forgot to change his clothes, and he forgot that April Fool's was the day prior.
Oh, that is relevant to the story, isn't it?
Yes, sir. So that's that was the episode.
Stupid character David forgot to change his clothes.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so we get done filming it, and it was relatively late, but I was just like, you know what? I need to go out. I need to get some smokes. I need to get some beer. I'm gonna go to the gas station, guys. So went about my way while Chase was doing like the first edits on the episode. Drive down to the gas station. I get in there, and there's actually a fair amount of people there. It was weird. There was a couple, like a guy and a lady standing just right off to the side of the counter, a little to the left of it. And I walked in and, I did the courteous, like I looked at them and pointed at the counter like, you doing this? And they were like, oh, no, go ahead. And they were all smiles and pleasant. And I was like, that's nice. They're a couple and they don't suck. So I go up there, I buy my smokes, I get my brew, I'm on my way out. When I turn back, they're just looking at me, like giving me this weird look. And I was put off by it because they were so pleasant just a moment ago. And then I'm looking at them again and like, I had wronged them or disgusted them in some way, and I couldn't figure it out to save my life. So I got back in my car, and this really got to me because I love it when people are pleasant when you go out in public because nobody is. Like, everybody's just miserable or they're an asshole to you for some reason. Like, it's rare to, like, see anybody who's happy. So I was like,
oh, yeah, I'm one of those for sure.
I bet you
It's
are.
so easy to be polite and pleasant, though.
Yeah, even
is the thing.
Even just a smile.
It's even easier to not be.
Yeah, clearly, because that's everybody, you and all the other assholes. But, so I'm driving home and I'm thinking about it. I'm like, what the fuck happened? And then I get home and it turns out I still have "Kick Me in the Jimmy" written really big on the back of my shirt from the episode. Like, didn't take off the tape or anything. So I'm just rolling around public buying smokes and beer with, it's like, look up the episode. The lettering is massive. You cannot miss it. And I'm just walking around town this way. So I get it. At first they were like, oh, this young man, yeah, go right ahead. You're nice, and I'm sure you're not even, oh my God, kick him in the Jimmy. He's into some weird fetish shit.
Yeah, you thought they were like snubbing you, but they were really just like fucking considering if they should kick you in the Jimmy or not.
They're like, honey, I gotta do it. No, it's his Jimmy. Oh, I don't know.
He's asking for it. He's literally asking for it. Look how big that lettering is.
He's demanding it. Those are demand-size letters.
He could be a crazy person.
Yeah, he could be a crazy Frank. Don't kick him in the balls.
I'm afraid of what he might do if we don't.
Think of what he'll do if we do kick him in the balls.
Honey, I'm doing this for us.
No. That'd be great if that played out. I just hear behind me, just like, no, Frank, don't do it. What the? Oh!
David walked in the door and like you hadn't realized it yet, and I think Eric or Chase pointed out like, hey, did you go out like that? And then you look behind you and then you just collapsed laughing. I remember you dropping your keys and just being like, God damn it.
Well, it explains it all too. Like I was seriously thinking about that couple on the drive home. I was like, how did I wrong you? What happened? You polite motherfuckers turn bitch in a second. I hate you.
How do people just turn on a dime like on me like that now? Like, what happened?
It's cold, man. I got feelings. I'm a person.
And I remember before you left too, you had enough with filming. Like, I think filming was going on pretty long, and you were like, "Oh, you know what? You guys,
because we refilmed.
yeah,
it.
you had to refilm everything, and you had enough by the end of the day. So then you're like, all right, I'm going out to buy smokes, and you're gone.
Yeah, before David Forgets, it had a fair amount of shots in it, and yeah, it was after a day of work, and we had filmed it all the night before. We had already done it, and the footage was just, it was bad. Like, I am so glad we didn't post it, but oh god, just filming it again, like, I was upset, and I may or may not have had plans that night, but I mean, David Forgets took priority, but I might have been bummed about that too. So yeah,
it looked bad for the faults that were not ours.
Wait, what?
It looked bad for reasons that were not our fault.
Oh, yeah. No, it's...
So that's what was most annoying about it.
Yeah, that is true.
But on the plus side, with the second filming, you guys got that... What you were doing with the water cups was so fucking funny.
The water cup scene.
And Chase with his fucking flower.
Was that a new addition for the second one? I can't recall.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I think we did the whole fucking thing.
I don't want to say I forget, because then people will be like, oh, so I do not recollect.
It's too late, he forgot. David forgot. Oh,
he forgot on set.
I knew it, just like the show, idiot. New topic.
Critical feedback.
Man, people weren't fans of that butt job, Channel 8, we just put up.
Seriously? I didn't really read through the comments.
The younger crowd wasn't a big fan of the butt job.
What is with kids these days? They don't like farts or poop? What the fuck is wrong with you?
You know, they literally took it as if we were saying we have no more ideas. Writing is so hard. Like, no joke. One guy. I'm sure he didn't shell out the $3 because I'm kind of fucking with him on email right now. But he was like, you guys need a writer, and I am a writer looking for employment. Ugh. And I was like, hey, you're right. Give me an email, buddy. And I said, send me a condescending email.
Oh, it's like 3 pages.
Wait. What if he's
this really long email.
What if he's $50 guy?
He's not. This
Are you
guy
sure?
does not have $50.
What if he does?
I promise.
What if he hears this and then Josh Green is our best fan again?
Well, that would be the worst case scenario.
Oh, we're just fucking Josh. You're great. Anyway, so, dude, I hate it when people do that shit. It's like, I could help you because clearly you need it. Fuckers. Hate people like that.
Yeah, he really thinks that the start of their career together is a condescending YouTube comment.
Hey, idiot, let me help you, because clearly you're terrible. Well, fuck you. What are you doing hitting up things you think are terrible? If you were all that fucking special, what are you doing? I hope he has $50.
He wrote a book.
He wrote a book. Good. You know how many people have done that?
He wrote a book.
I wrote a book. It wasn't a great book.
He wrote a book, and he published it himself.
Oh, yeah, I did that same thing when I was 17. Cool, whatever.
Yeah, we did do that.
Whatever. Doesn't mean shit. Where am I now? Nowhere. I'm sweating my dick off in this box right now. But I make it sound like I'm unhappy to do it. I'm happy to do it, but it's not like I'm sitting in the lap of
You're
luxury.
just ready to shit on this guy's face is the tone I'm reading.
That's what I'm pissed off about, motherfucker. He doesn't know shit about anything. Nothing. He's getting me all worked up. I need a beer right now, motherfucker.
This guy listed off all of his idols in comedy and how...
Yeah, here you go. If you have not binge-watched the following, you need to immediately do so. In doing so, do not watch any of the following as audience members. Watch them like a critic. If you're laughing, you're watching incorrectly.
What?
Concentrate on the aspects that I list and try to break down the comedy. The old saying of never explain a joke now needs to be broken. You need to explain every joke you see and hear from the following sources, so you understand what makes humor work, because I don't understand it yet, having worked in animated comedy for over 10 years.
Yeah, no, and beyond that, too, like actually face-to-face making people laugh who came to see us because we made them laugh, and they wanted to take time out of their day to approach us face-to-face and then we made them laugh. What's this guy getting at?
Comedy is a serious business, and according to Sid Caesar, the most serious business there is.
Oh yeah, don't.
Now here are the shows that he listed that are absolute. They're going to teach me everything I need to know, right?
Okay,
He's practically saying, first things first, humor is not subjective.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm curious to hear this list, because I helped you on that project, which means everything I've done since I was 16 has been a sham. So educate me on how... That's been half my life! Half my fucking life!
David, I hate to break it to you, but you're just not a naturally funny person.
God damn it. Okay, go ahead.
Top of the list. The Burns and Allen Show.
Never heard of it. Can't even say if it's good or not.
I haven't heard of it either.
He has a little, premise for after everyone. I'm not going to read those.
No, don't. Spare me. Spare me. He's jerking off
Number
those shows.
2, Hogan's Heroes.
What? That show was just Hogan? Wasn't that it? That was the entire show.
Hogan's Heroes. Dark comedy is a core essence of Channel 8. Learn from the best.
Wait, what? 2 shows?
No, there's more.
Oh, okay.
Third one. Third one, third and final.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. Three, the rule of 3 in comedy, so he knows a thing or two.
MASH.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, I know so many people who like that show, and it used to always come on after, what was it? Did it come on after Conan?
I don't know. It was on a lot when I was a kid.
I honestly haven't seen enough of it to make an opinion myself.
But, if that's what he's going after, what the fuck is he doing watching Explosum hosted cartoons and expecting to get humor out of it? Because it's nothing like MASH.
Yeah.
He is in the wrong place. He should not be critiquing.
Here you go. On his list of things to avoid. Any comedian who thinks yelling into a mic equals comedy.
Oh,
That
shit.
is not comedy.
Whoops.
It's an act that preys on the absurdity of the human mind to physical reaction.
But he also recommends Sam Kinison.
Did he?
Literally, he yells constantly.
Yeah.
He recommended Sam Kinison after that?
New topic.
We don't get Sam Kinison.
You know, I've heard a lot of great things about Sam Kinison, and every time I go to watch his stuff, I'm like, this is just an angry man
Yeah.
yelling about his ex-wife. It's not like this guy needs help. He yelled himself to death.
There was a couple of recommended for you videos just after watching comedy clips on YouTube. And I've given them a shot, and I don't know, it's just not my deal. Again, maybe it's just, kind of like MASH, just a bygone era. It's past. I don't know.
New topic.
Back to email guy.
The nerve of this guy, though, just to come out and explode some hosted video on. So it's established. The Channel 8 tone is established at this point. I was gonna be like, "Whoa, we need to reverse that." That'd be like me going up to a fucking pop star and being like, "You're doing it all fucking wrong. Have you ever heard of Pantera? You bitch. This is how it should sound."
You know
What's
what?
wrong with that guy?
Tone down the sex stuff. Seriously, nobody likes that shit.
Yeah.
Here's my favorite part. You'll love this. Now, I'm sure you're going to say, well, if you're so good at this, how come you're looking for work? To that I say, shut up, smiley face.
What a dick.
Chase was considering taking one of his scripts and just making a really sarcastic cartoon of how stupid this is.
Oh,
Pay
shit.
him,
I'd help out.
as little as I possibly can for one of his final scripts and then make it.
No, you should do that. Fish for that. I'll help you out on the back end with anything I could do just to take some workload off you. Let's do this.
After he said shut up, he said, I'm still working with my teams, but the problem is, I'm a nice guy who rarely charges for work.
No, you're a sucker.
It literally pains me to see people struggle, so I often work pro bono on struggling projects, and that makes me a horrible businessman. I also often exchange money for skills that I otherwise can't afford. God damn, he's a saint. He is a comedy writing saint.
Yeah.
I responded to this email. Here's what it says. Thank you for the long-winded response. I scanned it over, but it's late, and I need to get back to the record store before my shift starts at 11. I'll read in full tomorrow.
God, he's helping you so much, Chase. You don't even know it.
I'm waiting for the next time he emails me. My only real plan is to keep telling him, shit, I was busy, and give him some excuse.
No,
but I will read it tomorrow.
No, he's all pro bono and shit. Have him do some work. Let's see what he got.
Oh, he gave me a script.
Oh man, we need to wait. Let's
perform it. Let me paste this over for you, and me and you will perform it. All right. At the top, he says, "Don't share this with anyone." So let's not share this.
Okay.
This is just between us and you guys, the listeners,
and everybody else who has subscribed since we initially released this. This is you have to pay for this information. All right, let me put my beer down. No, I'm gonna hold on to my beer. Fuck it. No, I gotta put it down.
He's like, you can have this, but it needs serious work.
Oh, he's gonna
protect himself. He says it needs at least 8 or so revisions before it's suitable for publishing. That I will agree with. The first revision being throwing it in the fucking garbage and starting over.
What do you want? You want to be person one? I'll be person two?
Sure, I'll be person one. Here we go. Ready? This is a fixed comedy. Channel 8, but better. Right?
Oh, Channel 9.
Channel 8 is filmed in front of a live studio audience. This guy actually responded to us in email.
You mean the guy who admits to crime when Spock dies?
Yeah, haha. Who would ever do that?
Zoom in on person one drawing a tear with Spock's face in the center.
Wait, are you crying?
Shut up. Look at this. He has an AOL email address.
Yeah, stupid troll. Get a real email address like oh, damn it, what does that say?
Just go for it.
At bitterin.ti.inc.edu. Loser.
He's actually sending us information on how to become better comedians. He misspelled YouTube.
Don Rickles? How old is this poser? Sid Caesar? Gracie Allen? Rosemary? Did TV really used to come in black and white?
Person one gets up and walks out.
Like, hey, where you going?
Watch Star Trek 3. I guess he means to watch Star Trek.
You know, Spock...
There's 8 revisions right there.
Yeah. You know, Spock didn't really die, although Leonard Nimoy did.
Shut up!
Spock's fictional!
I said shut up! I just need to make sure they didn't change it.
The movie's been out for 20 years. They didn't change it. He comes back after the radiation.
Images flash of Spock dying and person two tearing up.
Wait up. Let me get the popcorn.
You know what? I was just thinking when you guys are doing that, you should add audience laughter and oohing and ahhing and stuff. Like it's Big Bang Theory.
Here's the final notes on that. Toss it or work it. Depends on whether or not you think it'll work after a few revisions. It's tamer than your typical death joke, so it's probably a tosser.
What is this guy getting? It sounds like he's implying some lewd sexual acts here. Toss it or work it. Like,
even if you keep it, it's certainly not suitable in its current state and needs revisions. So us making fun of it right now really isn't fair.
Negative. We're a bunch of dicks.
Fuck you.
This guy's
Fuck
telling
you
us
and your bullshit script.
This guy's telling us He basically gave us the keys to the Cadillac of comedy gold, and we veered that bitch right off the road, Siddharth. We should be ashamed of ourselves.
I really hope I can string him along for a long time.
I really hope so, too, because I want to give people updates on this.
Yeah, there was one guy a long time ago that wanted to buy my YouTube account.
I remember that.
That was good.
That was great.
I kept telling him, yes, absolutely. I want to sell it to you for, I think, $50.
And you told them to meet you on a pier.
Yeah, I was like, I told him to meet me in a lot of places before he really ran away from me. but I was like, I just am afraid that you will take my password information and not give me the money. So we need to meet up and we will exchange at the same time. And he kept insisting that no, he could pay me. I was like, no, we're just gonna have to do it my way. It's all right. Like, maybe if we went into a hot air balloon, then I could give you the password information. You could give me the cash, and I'd be able to count it, and there'd be nowhere to go. And he was like, "There's no hot air balloons in my country." I know the one that scared him off is when I said I want to do it on a ferry because there's no escape on a ferry. We'll be out there on the water.
Because you, me, and all those other commuters trying to get to the other side.
I said I'll be on the top deck at the 11 a.m. I picked a specific ferry, and then he was like, "You not take this seriously."
It's like, bitch, I just told you the exact ferry. I don't think you're taking it seriously.
New topic.
Would you rather?
We should do a would you rather.
Hell yeah.
I'd be okay with that. We just went on a really big tangent about dude. So
would you rather be cursed with the death stroke? So they're laughing because they know what it is already. That would be when you're thinking of someone, jerking off to that person, and then that person dies upon completion. They don't die unless you come. It's in the rules.
That's in the rules.
So would you rather the curse of Deathstroke, or you can only have sex 100 times. Every time you have sex, you get sicker. On your 99th fuck, you're like decrepit on your bed. It hurts to drink water, you know?
All right, would you rather...
At that point, it's just like a struggle to convince someone to fuck you and finish you off.
well, don't say that, Chase. That was going to be one of my arguments.
For or against?
Against. I'm pretty sure by the time you get up to like 62, people will be like, "No, I can't fuck this guy. Look at him. He's terrible."
But are you fine on the first 100 fucks?
No, you have up to 100 fucks. On fuck 100, then you die.
All right, let's say fuck 85. You start having back problems. Like if you never fuck at all, you're in peak physical condition.
All right. But if you decide to masturbate, which nobody's ever just masturbated to a void in their head, then that person dies.
Yeah.
Wow.
Do you live with that guilt knowing how many random people you're killing?
Yeah.
That popped into your head?
What, you're going to think of crowds while you're jerking off?
Yeah.
Well,
That's my fetish.
Everyone at the Yankees game. We don't know how it happened, but
they're all dead.
40,000 people lie dead in the grandstands.
Men, women, children. They're all dead.
And worst of all, Edgar Martinez.
And what if you have at least one friend that knows your secret, and then all the Victoria's Secret models just end up dead, and they're just like, what the fuck is your problem, man?
You would have to guard that secret. If the government found out, they would force you to jerk off for evil.
They would,
If I had a buddy who knew my secret power,
You'd
guaranteed
be first on the list.
I'd be popping Viagra left and right, and that person would never leave my side. I would have tabs on that motherfucker.
You just threaten him by having a boner and just looking at him like you know what I can do.
I would. If he looked like he was going to say anything, I'd give him a dead, like, eye-to-eye stare, couple strokes, just let him know I mean business. I'd be like, don't you say a goddamn word, motherfucker.
You have no idea the things I've jerked off to. He'd be like a sick serial killer kind of way as you watch the news talk about how all the porn stars are dropping dead. And he'd be like, I did that.
Yeah, it'd be like a bunch of like respectable like lady porn stars, and then just like a midget man just dies. Like, no, that was natural causes. I swear.
Famous porn stars like, hey Stacey, I don't know any.
Yeah, start rattling them off, Stacey. Like like Herman the Hammer and Betty Boobs and Valerie Jean, all those porn stars.
I've always been a huge Betty Boobs fan.
No, that'd be kind of rough. I mean, because, like, of course, is it exclusive to just masturbation? Like, or is it just like you come and then that happens, or like you have to make it happen yourself? It's
straight up, you have to masturbate yourself. It's under your own power.
Okay. So then it just,
you're jerking off, sprinkles start flying out of your hands, and like it's like a Disney. It's happening. Yeah.
You just go, oh no, the pixie dust. That means someone's dying.
No. But I have to come. No.
Candidate Hillary Clinton has dropped dead.
Damn it.
David, no.
Did you have something to do with this?
Did you see that pantsuit she was wearing? How could I not?
You have no self-control.
It's women in authority, man. I can't resist. Or you can have, what you change it to? You can have 85 solid fucks, and then you start to get a little rough, and after fuck 100, you're dead, right?
Yeah, like, you get to fuck 50, and, you know, you're a little schlubby now.
And you can masturbate, but you can't have sex, is the rules?
Yes.
So, basically, I could just plow all the way through 85 different scenarios, and then I could just hand crank for the rest of my life.
And that's the solution for you.
Well, no, I'm just trying, like, there's no, it's not like a monkey paw scenario where it's like, but if you don't fuck, things start slowly breaking down.
No, I take it back. It's about coming, and masturbating is wasting one of your fucks.
Oh, no. That puts a new spin on everything. Oh, my God. I am going to land on the Deathstroke. That's what I'm going with.
Yeah, with that knowledge. You would have been dead by 12.
I wouldn't have made it. I would have got halfway through 7th grade and dropped dead.
We'd all understand, man.
Yeah, no, people wouldn't get it. No, I would absolutely, I would take the Deathstroke. Because you can't kill the same person twice, right? So you just find somebody who's a fucking scoundrel, but kind of hot, and you just keep rubbing it out to that person until it just doesn't work anymore. Like, you just can't. And then you just wait for, like, what was that one broad that everybody thought was gorgeous? She wasn't a bad-looking broad. I should stop saying broad. Not a bad-looking gal. Was it Jodi Arias?
Why do you always say broad all the time, David?
Because I didn't know. I didn't know, man. My ignorance. I had no clue. I thought it was just...
David didn't know that broad was a disparaging term.
No, I didn't know that it meant, like, loose women, like whores, if you will, or prostitutes or anything like that. It's like,
That's it.
Is
I thought
that
they
the
meant they were
definition?
dumb.
what's that?
Like broad comedy. They're broad. They're like they don't get things.
Yeah, you dumb broads.
Yeah.
Okay, well, when you say it like that, now I feel like a jerk. Okay, so,
Well, you've never said it in that tone. It's honestly never bothered me. Like, I didn't even think about it, but
Yeah, well, she's
What
a
if-
broad. So.
yeah, I mean, what are you going to do? These
I-
broads these days, trying to be equal. No.
David
I'm
loves
just
broads.
a girl.
He married a broad.
I did marry a broad. I love my broad. But no, so...
Just
So
call
anyway,
me Mrs. Broad.
There was what's her,
David's Mrs. Broad.
yeah, I'm Mr. Broad to my Mrs. Broad. No, like, yeah, you just find a scoundrel that you is just like, all right, I could probably make this happen. But on the flip side of that, just find somebody that you can just bang. And if you gotta crank it to somebody who's already dead. Boom, I choose the Deathstroke.
And you can research the porn stars that are the most terrible people each time if you really need to spice it up.
Yeah, or if there's one that's like, she's on her last leg, like the chlamydia really took over and she's not gonna be like another
You're gonna
month or
kill a one-legged porn star?
It's a mercy jerking off.
Yeah, it's
killing.
like, well, it's you gave it your A game, and now things are bad, so and you're done. You're welcome.
Yeah, you could work at a shelter, and that's how you put the dogs down.
What? No, Siddharth. What do you think? You think I'm just gonna prime myself and just go to like something that's actually stimulating last minute? No, Mr. Sprinkles. Oh. You're in a better place, buddy.
Can you do that? Can you trick it that way?
Well, you didn't specify. You didn't say you had to think about them for X amount of time during, like, 30 seconds up until climax. You got to... No, you didn't specify any of that. So I'm just going with what I know. And I think... Now, when you say climax, is it when, like, you get that tingle, you're like, oh, here it comes? Or, like...
He's talking about the point of no return.
Yeah, okay, point of no return. Then you just... That's it. You just shift gears last minute. You just think, like, this one-eyed dog. And then that dog is down.
No, that doesn't count. It has to be when the trigger's pulled.
You have to become sexually attracted to that dog.
I think contract killer would be the way to go. I'll make it look like an accident.
I liked the angle that the government takes you in, and then I was imagining them giving you like the Clockwork Orange treatment.
That's so funny you
And-
said that because I was thinking the exact same deal. They
Yeah.
got you, like they got you attached to like some wacky like jerk off machine, and you're just staring at like the image of the hit, and they just stimulate you into it. And it's like, no, please, and then that person just dies.
Just
No,
these
there's no
slideshows of
jerk-off
King.
machine. It has to be by your own hand. These are the rules.
They have a machine that makes your hand grasp yourself and jerk you off.
I feel like the curse would know.
Now you're adding layers to the curse, Siddharth. I mean, come on.
That's how this works.
I mean, I was even thinking that it psychologically, they'd hook you up to the Clockwork Orange machine, show a slideshow of like Kim Jong-un, flying a kite or whatever, and like
As he does.
on the beach, kicking his feet up, getting a tan
No,
and
they'd
whatnot.
edit videos of some girl getting fucked and put Kim Jong-un's head on her.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
just they keep showing you that for weeks on end until they just leave you alone in a room, and then you just can't help it.
I would happily do that, though.
You would?
Yeah, get rid of Kim Jong-un by jerking off. Easy.
But then that'd be the only way you could get off, because they've like
I'd hold on
warped
to the
your brain.
video.
Huh?
I'd hold on to the video.
So like you're just like the government's like you're their weapon. Like they just have you locked up, and your sole purpose, they keep you alive just so you can crank it to dudes in power that they don't agree with.
Yeah, you're
And-
like Darth Vader. They're like, we need the cranking it guy. And then you rise up.
Who will I be jerking it to this time?
So he's just like in a Darth Vader helmet and a chastity belt.
just a Darth Vader helmet.
Yeah, that was part of the negotiations.
And maybe a couple black gloves. 2 black gloves and a Vader helmet. That's it. I feel like we're leaning very heavy on the Deathstroke. I don't think the 85 fucks, then you slowly die is going to win.
Yeah, probably because that's like 20 times more than any of us have had sex.
Heyo!
Fair point.
But
I look forward to my first time.
You'll get there.
you'll get there, champ.
I'm
Thanks,
not ready
baby.
yet.
She was ready with all those other dudes, but not me, so I'm waiting. We talked about it. The pictures I've seen. I tell you, if I had the curse, you'd be dead, baby.
You've been dead like 500 times.
I'd be dead by the time you'd ever tell me that you even had the curse.
Yeah.
Like, they wouldn't be finished telling you that you have the curse.
Yeah. We did something to you. Anytime you play with it, oh, he's doing it. No.
Like evil warlocks.
Oh, goodness gracious, he's already killed and he doesn't know what he's doing. I don't know, should we just leave him this way? Yeah.
Oh, God, he's looking right at me.
Oh, no.
Jeez.
No. Stop.
Us lizard monsters didn't think this through.
Really? My brother?
Mayhaps we should depart.
He was thick, bro.
He had a huge rash on his face. It's disgusting.
I mean, no goblin puts out. He gets no goblin ass. You're pretty fucked up, man.
So I guess, what would you choose, though?
I'd choose the Deathstroke because I can jerk off to fictional people. I don't need to think about specific people.
I think I would still
You
go
don't
with the
jerk
Deathstroke.
off. She doesn't count.
When you're okay, fine.
You have
when
to have a dick.
When you're hanging around Beantown, like there's got to be some kind of thought. Like I don't think I've ever just like blank minded just like no. It's just I don't think I could do that. There's got to be some kind of stimulation.
I just don't think about specific people as the thing.
Oh, so now you're killing randoms. If you don't have someone in mind, someone dies. The curse picks for you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's just anytime you masturbate?
And the curse picks somebody close to you, so the curse wants to make it clear. It's like, I'm still here.
Next time you'll think of someone.
Oh, I guess if that were the case, I'd take the 100 fucks. I can't be killing people at random.
Well, baby, prepare to die.
Better get those 100 fucks in.
I've got at least 13 in me.
I would have to stave off your death strokes is how that would work.
Yeah, the hardest part would be jerking off to the thought of David.
That wouldn't be that hard for you.
Well, I do have practice.
Oh, no. I'm dead in the water. I'm not making it out of this one.
I picked the Deathstroke, and I use it as a weapon. I like it.
Yeah, I think weaponized coming sounds a lot better than... Like, who's to say... No, I'll definitely get to 100 fucks. But, like, who's to... What if it happens so early?
Casanova over here.
It's like, I don't know. Like, yeah, like I said, I could always just pick... That's also kind of morbid. I only crank it to dead broads.
That is a strategy. You could get some old fucking...
It's a sound strategy. I mean, they've been making porn since what, the 50s?
You gotta be shelling out money for that sweet 50s porn.
Yeah, goddammit, you're right. Well, if it saves a life, I mean, can you really put a price on somebody's head, Sidar?
Matt, what if you had the effect on humanity of jerking off to everybody who is sexy and horrible, and then there's no terrible sexy people left? Everyone is either good and ugly or good and hot sometimes.
Then we keep narrowing it down.
Yeah, I would go with Deathstroke. I'm landing on that one because I feel like there's a little bit of control in there, and then if like I'm in a good place. If I need to get my rocks off, I can fornicate with a person.
The news would be like, 28 women working in porn have died today, and one man in Arizona is dehydrated.
Just a picture of David with his tongue sticking out a little bit, like.
Although
Did we all pick? Was it stroke?
stroke, because yeah, we've already made those arguments. But now I'm also thinking about long term. Is like, what happens when you get in your 50s and 60s and fucking just stops? Do you also just give up on cranking it? I don't think that's the case. Like, what if you just turned like an old asshole murderer?
And that's what happens.
Like, you just get spiteful. You're like, you dumb 18-year-old broad at the mall. Ah, you're dead now.
New topic.
Goodbye.
All right. Well, hey, that's a good leaving off point. David talking about an old man stroking it.
You just burp as loud as you can on the microphone. That's good.
You should just keep up the burps. People
Hell
would
yeah.
love it.
They like it on Rick and Morty. They like it when I do it.
He did it again. You gotta transition it into a word though.
What?
You gotta make your burp a part of your sentence. You can't just burp mid-sentence then continue.
Well, let me try that. David fucking sucks.
No, you
Pretty good?
Same shit. All right.
David is a piece of shit.
God damn it, Siddharth. You know what you're doing. You know damn well what you're doing. Piece of shit.
Hey.
You're not being cute. I see right through it.
All right. I hate you guys. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Play the song. The song about the butts.
Wait, no, it's over?
It's over.
Oh, no. I'm
did-
sorry, everybody.
It can't be over.
It's over now.
I will be thinking about every last one of you tonight.
Well, he jerks off. Good luck.
But, 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 but,